The Department of Homeland Security and Internal Revenue Service have come to an agreement to permit ICE to access taxpayer information to locate illegal immigrants subject to deportation. Federal immigration officials are seeking to locate up to 7 million people suspected of being in the United States unlawfully by accessing confidential tax data at the Internal Revenue Service. The Trump administration filed a memorandum of understanding with a court to create guardrails and a process for ICE requests to the IRS to further investigations of criminal, illegal immigrants who have failed or refused to leave the United States 90 days after a judge has issued a final order of removal. The MOU outlines a process to ensure that sensitive taxpayer data information is protected while allowing law enforcement to pursue criminal violations. The IRS is generally not allowed to give access to taxpayer information, but there is an exception for criminal investigations.
I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered, and we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country and fast. To expedite removal of the Tren de Aragua and other savage gangs, I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of, listen to this, 1798. That's an old one. You have to go back that far because as we've grown and grown, our politics and politicians have become weaker and weaker. Our laws don't mean anything. It's so bad what's happening to our country, and we're becoming a very unsafe country, but we're going to be a lot more unsafe when you realize that all of the criminals from every country in the world is being deposited right into our nation, and we're not going to take it. But we're using the Alien Enemies Act, think of that, 1798, boy, that's a long time ago, to target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil, and it gives tremendous authority to everybody to straighten out our country. We've got to have a country. We've got to have borders. We've got to have fair elections. We've got to have a free press. Look how many people are back there. They're just so many bad. They're so fake. So many of them, they're fake. They're fake. And if these monsters come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or law enforcement officer. And I will immediately ban all sanctuary cities in the United States. We're ending sanctuary cities, which is sanctuary for criminals. As we secure our border, we will bring back our economy, and very simply, I will make America affordable again. It's not affordable. Because these lunatics that we have running our government, they've allowed inflation to rise to a level that we've never seen before, and it's not affordable. They've come down, the prices came down, and now they're going shooting back up again. It's terrible. The job, we've got to get those costs down, and I'm going to get them down. You know how I'm going to get them down? We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill, bring energy down. And we're going to get interest rates down, too. They were at 2% with me, and now they're at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14%, and you can't get the money even if you want to pay it. Kamala Harris cast the deciding votes that launched the worst inflation in our country's history. She cost a typical American family over $30,000 in higher prices. Think of that, $30,000. And now Kamala, a disaster who shouldn't be allowed to run. She has no right to be running. You know what? You know the expression, right? They're a threat to democracy. That's what they are. They are the threat to democracy. Kamala wants to raise the typical family's taxes by nearly $3,000 a year. And I'm announcing today a new step that I'll take to get emergency price relief to all Americans. On day one, I will sign an executive order directing every federal agency to immediately remove every single burdensome regulation driving up the cost of goods, that drive up the cost of goods. We have so many regulations that hurt our country. I cut more regulations times 4 than any president in the history of our country. And that's why we had the greatest economy in history. That's one of the reasons why. The other is I gave you the largest tax cut in the history of our country, including Ronald Reagan. Furthermore, I will create a new cabinet position for a senior member of my administration who will be tasked exclusively with doing everything in the federal government's power to reduce the cost of living. We have to. You not be able to live. And a lot of it is just the regulations and the rules and regulations, which are just a waste of time and money. And everybody, we need regulation, but I have seen regulations where they have 30 regulations for one subject, and the one subject doesn't even matter. All agencies will be judged daily on their progress in slashing the cost of household items. We're going to slash the costs, and this will be the largest and fastest, most aggressive regulatory reduction. It's going to be the largest regulatory reduction in the history of our country, and it's going to happen very fast. Using just very conservative estimates, we will save the typical household $7,000 in the first year alone, with no impact to your life, Tim. No impact at all, just a waste of money. Uh-oh. Osprey. The Osprey. Pretty amazing, right? Pretty amazing. They've had some difficulty, but pretty amazing. We will end the inflation nightmare immediately and create a record jobs boom, the likes of which you've never seen before. And we had a record. Think of it, 4 years ago, we were energy independent. And during my administration, we had the most successful economy, the greatest economy in the history of our country. The history of our country. And we had the best job numbers in the history of our country. African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, men, women, people with a degree, young people with a degree in the best schools, young people without a degree at all. Every single group had the best. There wasn't one group that wasn't at the all-time top. We had the most successful administration, and we rebuilt the military. We did so many. We defeated ISIS. We did a lot. I will massively cut taxes for workers and small businesses, and we will also have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits to your seniors. This liar got up today. She said, Donald Trump is going to cut Social Security. No. She knows I'm not. She's going to destroy Social Security, but I'll never cut it. And I'm never raising the age either. She'll have no choice but to. But what I will cut is the tax on Social Security. So she's a little confused. No, she is a liar. And I'll also support a tax credit for family caregivers who take care of their parents or a loved one, a husband, a wife, and they deserve it. You know, without them, you wouldn't have enough hospitals in this country if you doubled them up. You have unbelievable people, angel moms. You have unbelievable people that do a great job, and they're entitled to that. On behalf of the great people of New Mexico, I will end Kamala's war on American energy. You're not going to have any energy. You know, they talk about Pennsylvania, no fracking. If you don't have energy, they're going to take it away. They want to go all electric, everything all electric. Oh, that's going to be wonderful. They want, even in the military, they want all electric army tanks. There's only one problem, they don't work. But they will be environmentally friendly as you blast your way into various enemy cities, right?